4 easy tips to build your emergency fund. Nearly 1/4 of Americans and almost half of Canadians have no emergency savings, according to a recent report. Without an emergency fund, you can imagine that an unexpected expense could send your budget into a tailspin. That's why building an emergency fund is so important. You can do this. 4 tips to building your emergency fund. Where to keep your emergency fund. Keeping money in the cookie jar might not be the best plan. Mattresses don't really work so well either. But you also don't want your emergency fund commingled with the money in your normal checking or savings account. The goal is to keep your emergency fund separate, clearly defined, and easily accessible. Setting up a designated high-yield savings account is a good option that can provide quick access to your money while keeping it separate from your main bank accounts. Set a monthly goal for savings. Set a monthly goal for your emergency fund savings, but also make sure you keep your savings goal realistic. If you choose an overly ambitious goal, you may be less likely to reach that goal consistently, which might make the process of building your emergency fund a frustrating experience. Your emergency fund is supposed to help reduce stress, not increase it. It's okay to start by putting aside a small amount until you have a better understanding of how much you can really afford to save each month. Also, once you have your high-yield savings account set up, you can automatically transfer funds to your savings account every time you get paid. One less thing to worry about. Spare change can add up quickly. The convenience of debit and credit cards means that we use less cash these days. But if and when you do pay with cash, take the change and put it aside. When you have enough change to be meaningful, maybe $20 to $30, deposit that into your emergency fund. Look into ways of automating your savings to putting away money seamless and hassle-free. Get to know your budget. Making and keeping a budget may not always be the most enjoyable pastime, but once you get it set up and stick it for a few months, you'll get some insight into where your money is going and how better to keep a handle on it. Hopefully, that will motivate you to keep going and keep working towards your larger goals. When you first get started, dig out your bank statements and write down recurring expenses or types of expenses that occur frequently. Odds are pretty good that you'll find some expenses that aren't strictly necessary. Look for ways to moderate your spending on frills without taking all the fun out of life. By moderating your expenses and eliminating the truly wasteful indulgence, you'll probably find money to spare each month, and you'll be well on your way to building your emergency fund.